Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have The Lion King 1.5. This is sort of a rehash of the original film. I'm not going to say that. That's the best way I can describe it. It's not a derogatory term. Although yesterday before I watched it, it might have been. I actually enjoyed this. This is from 2004, an hour and 22 minutes. It's direct to DVD, well, DVD or VHS at the time. Uh, this is in the era in which Disney was taking all of its most popular properties and doing directive video, home video sequels, and some were good, some were not so good, and this one they didn't cheap out on, which is kind of great. They got back all of the original cast, especially the ones that are most important to this one: Timon and Pumbaa, Nathan Lane, and Ernie Sabella. Make sure I'm saying that right. Sabella, Ernie Sabella. I always want to put an M in there for some reason. But anyway, this is the story of the Lion King, taken from the point of view of those fan favorite characters, Timon and Pumbaa. Now, if you love those characters, this is the movie for you. This is the version of the movie for you. It sort of fills in the holes of the story, especially in that period of time in which uh, a young Simba joins up with the two of them, and then the next scene in the original film, he's all grown up. He's like a teenager, a young adult lion, and apparently they spent years together, or how animals age. I don't know. Maybe it was a year. I have no idea. But he grew up fast in that movie, and we get to see what went into that a little bit. But we also get to see what happened with Timon and Pumbaa well before the beginning of The Lion King and how they became entangled in all of this. It wasn't by accident. So you get to see all that. It's By the way, this isn't always known as The Lion King 1.5. I tried looking for this on IMDb to look at the credits and verify actors and everything else, and it doesn't come up. It's also very hard to I guess search 1.5, just normal typing. So what this is mostly called, at least on IMDb, is The Lion King 3 Hakuna Matata. So yeah, it's the 1.5 just seemed like a weird marketing ploy. It's like, hey, you know what? Here's the same movie, but a little bit more or from a different angle. And to me, that always seemed it was. I would enjoy that maybe for a Star Wars film or maybe a Marvel film if it was because they're so packed full of continuity and just different character voices and character takes on things. It's a big deep well to pull from. The Lion King never needed a sequel. It's by its own merit, it is a great movie. It just fits together. It tells the story it needs to tell. The characters you love, and that's it. But you got to make some money, and so you make the sequels and the spin-offs and the series and everything else, and then you come up with 1.5. You don't want to call it 3, I guess, when you're originally marketing it, because people walk into it like, oh, a whole new adventure with Simba. No, it's the movie you saw already, but pulled back really far. And actually, it's by the way, it's yes, it's definitely for kids. Adults will get appreciation out of it. There's a lot of it's not adult humor, but it's jokes that only adults will probably get, especially regarding the fact that Timon and Pumbaa move into a new place together, and it turns out there's that the big musical numbers with all this spinning animals on top of each other, and it's a big I want to be king, that song. And they go outside. Nathan Lane, who is very much a theater kid, he's not a kid anymore, but I'm just saying he grew up in the theater. He was before he was a big movie star. He was definitely a theater guy, and his comment upon stepping outside, seeing all the spectacle of these animals, he just basically says, "Oh, we moved into the theater district," and little kids will never understand that humor, but unless they live in New York City, and you know, it makes sense. But there's lots of fart and burp uh, humor for all the kids. Obviously, the reason why Pumbaa is on his own at first, and but this tells a story of how Timon and Pumbaa met and who they were, especially Timon. This is mainly Timon's story, but as they come together, uh, we get so many fart jokes, and we get to see who they are and why Pumbaa is alone and nobody messes with him for the most part. Um, it's farts. He farts a lot. So, and he farts big. And the fact is, his farts have a huge impact on this the original opening sequence of the original Lion King. Go figure. So, yeah, speaking of which, Nathan Lane, I need to mention that there's a ton of actors in here. You'll recognize, obviously, from the original film. You got Matthew Broderick as grown up Simba. We do not get Mufasa. We do not get James Earl Jones. But we get Julie Kavner, yeah, Marge Simpson from The Simpsons, obviously, as the mom of Timon. And we get his Uncle Max is Jerry Stiller, Ben Stiller's dad, but also George Costanza's dad from Seinfeld, and from a whole bunch of other stuff. But he's in this. Robert Guillaume comes back as Rafiki, and let's see who else here. Oh, well, of course, the hyenas. You got Whoopi Goldberg and Cheech Marin, and yeah, it's Moira Kelly is Nala. And Jim Cummings, of course, has to show up because he's Jim Cummings and he's in every Disney thing. So yeah, there's a lot of recognizable faces and, well, I should say voices throughout this. So it doesn't feel too jarring like some of the sequels when Simba is voiced by somebody else. You know, it's Matthew Broderick. So it's a good fun. Oh, there's Corey Burton and Jeff Bennett and all those guys who, again, have to be in just about every Disney animated feature, series, short, whatever. They're everywhere. So yeah, it's a coming home for a lot of these characters. It's a lot of great humor, and it fills in a lot of the story if that's what matters to you. But if you just want a fun little adventure, I'm actually going to recommend it. I honestly just figured this for just another needless sequel. Yeah, this wasn't needed. I mean, let's be clear, it wasn't needed, but it tells a somewhat of a new story. It tells a new story, but framed in a different, and an old story just framed in a different way. So, and that's all right. It makes it fun, and it doesn't rely too much. The main story, anyway, does not rely too much on references, although it's there throughout. You get to see the entire Lion King movie from a different position, a different angle, as how Timon and Pumbaa experienced it, and how they helped in the defeat of Scar. So, spoiler. So, yeah, but it's a surprisingly good. I know I'm being a dork about this, but it's surprisingly good. I don't expect a lot from these direct-to-video releases, but it's a new world now because when things are released to direct to home video on Disney Plus on streaming, we don't look down on it as much as we used to with VHS release because it's prestige format stuff, high quality, good budget, great cast. Whether it's animated or live action, we got Book of Boba Fett coming up. We have Hawkeye right now. We have so much other stuff coming, and not just with Marvel and Star Wars, but with Disney and Pixar itself. There's so much to come. So, yeah, the world has changed since then. So, forget my negative attitude. It's a good time. So, check it out if you get a chance. If you're a big fan of The Lion King and you're like, do I want to watch the same movie, or is it just 10 minutes more? No, that's what I thought it was. I thought it was like, oh look, an extra scene or a cut scene just added back in. No, it's a whole new core story, but with the foundation that you know and love. So let's pick tomorrow's episode.
649.
Say it out loud. 649. I'm not gonna go looking for it until you say it out loud. 649. Way, way down at the bottom of the list. Oh, there it was. Okay, yeah, all right. Since we just saw the sequel not too long ago, we're gonna watch the original, which I love. Do you have to watch tomorrow's episode? Sure, you do. But we're gonna watch Wreck It Ralph. So the original. Uh, just two films so far. Wreck It Ralph, the video game based Disney animated film. See you back here tomorrow with that on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge.